Welcome to the Washington Football Team podcast brought to you by Fansided. This is your co-host Tay and Todd. We are at a crossroads right now. 6-7, hit by COVID. A terrible Dallas game like yesterday. Todd, how you feeling?
I always say good, but I'm really not feeling good this time. That was like as amped up as I've been for a game in years, honestly. Because 2019 was a terrible season. 2020 was weird. 2018 went south. So probably since 2018 or 2017, the most amped up I've been for a game. And losing would have felt bad no matter what, right? But battling, close game, loss, okay. But to come out and just get decimated the way they did, and I know what the final score was, but they got blown out, right? I know about the end, and I'll talk about that, but they got dominated for 50 minutes of the game. So, and at home, you beg the fans to come out against a division rival in a critical game that was kind of for the division in the playoff hunt, off a 4-game win streak, come out, get beat like that. Yeah, not great, man. And then all the COVID stuff that's going on, which we'll get to as well, not great. How are you feeling?
I would say the same. However, I'm a little bit okay. Obviously, that's a game I would have loved to win. However, I love the way they fought. Normally, a team like that, we would have literally collapsed. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they fought back, it just shows the type of character that this team has. And considering that we don't have a lot of key pieces, whereas we lost a lot, and the Cowboys gained a lot. I mean, they basically got fully healthy for this game.
Yeah.
So, it stinks. Offense was sputtering, and the refs controlled the game for the majority of it. The offense, no team could get a flow. I mean, it was
right.
The whole first quarter took about almost an hour and 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. It was very long.
Oh, wow.
And it's just, I mean, if you look at it, our game didn't end until, it was kicking off of Tampa and
yeah, you're right.
So
you're right.
I'm just like 50-50, feeling good. I love the way they battled back, but it hurts that we lost the game the way we did. But I mean, we have no business being that close, even at the end, because at the end of the day, they're a better team.
Yeah,
and we fought hard. So I say all that to say I'm 50-50. It hurts that we lost, but at the same token, I'm glad the way we lost, I'm okay with, because of, I don't think the Cowboys can brag about that win.
If I were them, I wouldn't feel good. I'm kind of on the other side of it, where maybe emotionally, and I'm not saying like they did battle back. The reason why I don't think I can personally feel good about that is because it feels like they lost twice rather than just getting blown out. And it's like, all right, they lost the game by halftime. The game is over. They came back and had a legitimate chance to win the game, and then gave it away again. And so it's like you had accepted that they lost, and then suddenly you're like, wait a minute. I got super excited, and was like, here we go again. All right, this could, if you steal that one, Tay.
Oh man!
If you steal that one away, that wrecks the Cowboys. That puts Washington in this crazy place. That game is just unbelievable. If you were able to steal that one away, but then they didn't, and then it felt like losing twice. But I can respect they did battle back. But the reason that they battled back was because the defense played well. Really, the whole game. Like, they had some bad plays. And then the refs had some bad plays. But overall, the defense played well enough for you to win this game. They battled back because they just stopped turning the ball over so much on offense and giving away sack, fumble, touchdowns, and picks inside your own territory. And then once you do that and you start scoring, the defense didn't really change. The defense kept playing well. They got you the stop when you need it. So I can respect.
Would you say that the Cowboys beat us or we beat ourselves?
That's a good question. I would say Washington beat themselves more because it's tough to say. The Cowboys made some plays, for sure. The Cowboys players made some plays, but Washington made more mistakes, I feel like, than the Cowboys made plays. and the offensive line. I think so much of that game just came down to the offensive line, which I guess we can get into. Just talk about our sponsors. Check out Hot Chikn Kitchn in Woodbridge, Virginia. Try Nashville style chicken sandwich, and go to Dunpro Financial and get a 7-day free trial of their Diligent financial course. I mean, just like starting at the beginning and just going through the game. When Taylor Heineke missed a throw on 2nd and 10, just like missed it. And that was kind of when I was like, okay, I think I might know what we're in for today. Mm-hmm. And then you get the stop on defense, the first drive's kick field goal offensively. Then the next drive, you get the pick. First Kendall Fuller dropped a pick right in the first drive, but then you get the pick, Landon Collins, offense does nothing. And then they're going, they're going for it on 4th down. Randy Gregory gets the tip then on 3rd down on what ultimately would have been a long play, a first down, if not a touchdown. And he got the tip. I mean, he's a good athlete, but Charles Leno didn't get a good chip block on him. Yeah. So then that's when and then the defense gets a stop, but I think it was John Allen lined up in the neutral zone. Mm-hmm. Right. So that was, it would have been 4th down. They probably would have kicked a field goal. Instead, busted coverage, pretty sure Landon Collins touchdown, give the 2-point conversions. And just like that, you're down 11-0. And Washington, I mean, the Cowboys haven't really done much of anything.
Nope.
Then you get the ball back, 4th and 3, or no, was it? No, 4th and 4, whatever, 4th and 5. And Brandon Sheriff, I don't want to like be like that guy, but he's the one who ultimately gave up the sack.
He's trash. Well, he may not be trash, but he's not worth.
He's not worth 18. For me, what it is regardless of whether he's on the tag making 18 million, whether he signed a long-term deal here making tens of millions, or signed somewhere else, he is not playing up to what he is getting paid, and he is not playing like an all-pro player. He's just not. I don't care about how good Micah Parsons has been.
Me either.
Brandon Sheriff is the all-pro guard. I don't care about where Micah Parsons lined up. I don't care about him having a running start or any of that. He is an all-pro guard. That's a rookie linebacker, and it's 4th down. And people try to look. Heineke was bad all game. People try to put that play on Heineke, saying he was bailing. He was bailing left because the pressure was coming from the right, and there was nowhere. There was no one open yet. But he was sacked within 3 seconds. He didn't have time to throw the ball. So then you have that play, which was just abysmal. And then next thing you know, you're down 18-0, and the Cowboys nothing has even happened yet. The game is like out of reach, and they're not playing well. Their offense is not playing well. And then from there, the offensive line, just more than anything, the offensive line got dominated because they couldn't run the ball for that reason, and then they couldn't throw the ball. And then the play that just really, really kills me, though, is that drop by DeAndre Carter at the end. Because that was just, the whole time when Cole Holcomb got that pick. So, okay, all right. There's like 4 or 5 minutes left. You've got 3 timeouts. That game is far from over at that point. Need to stop.
I hated the camera angle for that pick.
Yeah, that was weird.
What?
That was weird. Yeah. Yeah. That was so weird. I was like, is this a replay or is this live? What happened? But you get the pick, which was just a terrible play by Dak Prescott. Yeah. And you finally, Washington always gets these types of plays, like in kind of useless situations. The pick six, the first defensive touchdown of the year, or to be like a punt return or a kick return touchdown and like a blowout. But this wasn't exactly useless, but they get that. All right. So then all right, I'm back in it. You're back in it, right? We're all back in it. What are we saying at that point? Get a stop.
Get a stop.
Get a stop. I kept said it on repeat. I said, somebody just please make a play. Cole Holcomb just made a play for you. First, let's start off with Cam Sims making a play for you. Then Cole Holcomb made a play for you. Then I said, somebody please just make a play. Kendall Fuller made a play. He got that stop, 3rd and 3. Boom. Offense is on the field. You have 2.5 minutes left. You have 3 timeouts. Well, maybe not 3 timeouts. Maybe 1 or 2 timeouts. You don't need any timeouts. I know Kyle Allen's in there, but I have confidence in Kyle Allen in that situation to just get down the field some. And then I'm just saying, somebody make a play. And DeAndre Carter had that chance to make a play. To just make a play. It wasn't one of those out of reach. It wasn't a tough catch. It was a perfectly thrown ball that hit you in the hands. That would have put you at the 30-yard line. Hey. Oh man. So like
I cut him some slack because he's not used to that kind of pass
I
being
don't
made
cut
in
him.
the.
I don't cut him any. No, he got against what the Broncos and against
No, he's made
the
big catches
Bucks,
in every
just like
single
that
game.
over his shoulder. He's made those catches. He's caught touchdowns. Oh man! And then debate. You can debate whether it was a forward pass or not. I don't know. It's whatever. But oh man, it just that one hurt really bad. Tay. The only thing that was my saving grace was that right after that I played in my Madden league in the AFC Championship game and beat my guy. So that brought me back a little bit. That brought me back.
Yeah.
But it just
Yeah.
it was one of why it was one of those annoying, just weird, frustrating games. It was just sloppy. And Ron Rivera said that the travel and the schedule maybe caught up to them. They were very injured, like you said, Tay. They were very injured, but man, I don't know.
Yeah, this one hurt on many levels.
Yeah.
The D line played very well considering what they
Considering who
had.
was playing, right? No defensive ends, basically.
Exactly. Jamin, he did okay. He didn't do anything to stand out. He didn't do anything to set himself. So I think Jameis turned out to be good. He may
Watching
not be,
Jamin Davis play and then watching Micah Parsons play is like makes you want
yeah,
to
yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
in all fairness, he did one year start in Kentucky.
Yeah. No, it's not over.
It's not over. It's not
No,
over.
no.
So
But
if he could just be serviceable at this point, but
Micah has 12 sacks, man. Go ahead.
Mike is ridiculous, man, and um, I he's a star already.
Yeah.
He just has that dog, but like on the O line part of just Brandon Sheriff. When I just saw him use one hand and mush Sheriff out the way, multiple
Yeah.
times I've seen that. Like
Yeah.
they targeted him and he went at him. And like you said, I don't care if he's a rookie or not. If you're all pro and you're getting paid 18
That's
million,
what I'm saying, Tate.
that's not happening.
That's
To
what I'm
you.
saying. That's what I'm
Rookie. I can see if
saying.
it's like a five,
I
vet.
mean, yeah, if it's Bosa, if it's Watt, if it's Garrett, I understand Micah's good, but you're the All Pro.
Yeah. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
Landon Collins played great, outstanding football, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't at that price tag at the position he's playing, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But he's playing good football right now. That
He's playing better,
secondary
yeah.
is clicking,
Yeah, they really are.
all cylinders, and the offense. You can't expect to have a lead every game, and that
Right.
was my fear with this game.
Yeah.
You couldn't get behind because if so, they were going to tee off, which they did,
Which they did, yeah.
and you just can't give them free plays like that, like a touchdown or the ball in their own
No.
territory.
No.
You just can't do that because if you take away that pass, it's 2020 essentially. The fumble.
The fumble, right. Yeah, the fumble, yeah, right.
It's 2020, a whole different ball.
Couldn't
game.
give up any defensive points in that game. The margin
Cannot.
for error was so thin.
You cannot. You really cannot. And Heineke. I don't know what was going on. It just like you said. They started off slow, but I am impressed with how they came back. They only gave up 3 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Can that trend continue?
I mean, the defense gave up how many points? They gave up a 2-point conversion, but if we take out 8 points from the touchdown and 2-point conversion, they gave up 19 points.
19 points.
Or I don't remember if they got the 2-point conversion on. No, sorry. They gave up the touchdown. And the 2-point conversion was off of the interception.
Mm-hmm.
That one was off of a turnover. The other one was directly a turnover. Take away the 2 turnovers. How many points is that? 8 plus 7. That's 15 points, right?
Yep.
So take that out of the equation, and it's 12 points that you've given up just from normal regular drives.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different game, man. So the defense played well with your 5th and 6th defensive ends.
They played good football.
Was it?
Holcomb.
Yeah. Was it Rotimi? I don't know. I know Shaka Tony. Was it Bahami Rotimi? Whatever. Whoever it was Dak was out of the pocket and he was running, and then he was running and then he jumped. Man. But I got to be honest. I don't know that Chase Young would have done anything differently there.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, so let me just ask you this, and then you'll go into your list of reasons why you're feeling more okay than maybe most people.
Mhm.
But like, is it which was the fluke? Was this the fluke or was the win streak a fluke? Going into Philly, going to the last 4 games, you still clearly got a shot. You can very easily make the wild card.
Mhm.
Earn a wild card spot, get to the playoffs. Has this affected your confidence in that being a reality?
Yes, it affected my confidence only because of the injuries and the COVID list.
Yeah, yeah. Can we read off that COVID
Um,
list real quick?
yeah,
Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, James Smith Williams, Casey Toohill, William Bradley King, Kalik Hudson, David Mayo, Daryl Roberts, Tamar Hemingway. I don't know if this is all from Montez Sweat or not, but if it is, whew, I don't know.
that's tough. And
Yeah.
this Philly team is coming off a bye. They're 100% healthy. Looks like Jalen Hurts is going to play. And I just have a hard time seeing them win this game with injuries
Mm-hmm.
and at Philly.
Yeah.
Um,
And Taylor
it's just
Heineke's banged up.
and Heineke's banged up, and it's going to be interesting. I just it's hurt my confidence personally, and I don't want to overreact. Although I mean it did. I was impressed with how they came back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them winning another game this year.
Not even the Giants.
And
I think Daniel Jones is done for the year.
maybe the Giants,
Mm-hmm.
but it may be best if we lose that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But and I say that because of injuries for one,
Yeah.
and uh, limited quarterback play.
Very limited.
It showed us yesterday that we need a quarterback.
And
Um,
it
and
showed
not
me
only
nothing I
that,
already knew.
we need receivers
Oh yeah, for right.
um,
And Cam
that can
Sims is probably the
win.
second best receiver on this roster right now.
He is, and that's the difference between a Tom Brady offense where they can get the ball. You should have been getting the ball out quick,
Yeah, you're right
and,
about that.
and nobody's winning besides Humphreys.
Yeah,
And that's still taking time. And Heineke's just setting receivers up to get killed.
yeah,
And it's like that's the
yeah.
difference between the Bucks and Washington is, Tom Brady may be not be the most mobile, but
Mobile.
he has
Yeah,
receivers that can win
yeah.
quickly.
Right, right, right.
Godwin's coming off and Evans and they
Antonio
can win
Brown.
quickly.
Yeah,
Antonio Brown, they can win quickly, and we just
yeah,
don't have that.
yeah.
So we're not a team that can we're limited as far as how we can
We
win
are
games.
limited.
So I don't think the 4 game streak is a fluke. I think they stuck to their game plan.
Yeah,
However, I think that this loss was a fluke in a sense of we couldn't get a lead early. Therefore, it's time to
yeah.
do what we wanted to do.
And I mean, they said pretty much the Cowboys said if we stop the run, they can't do anything anymore.
Yeah,
And I mean,
yeah,
they were pretty much right. Can't get the
yeah,
ball downfield. All you got to do is have someone over top of Terry McLaurin. De'Ami Brown's
yeah.
not beating anyone down the field. Cam Sims actually probably is, but Heineke probably won't get the ball there accurately. Curtis Samuels, yeah, the team
Curtis
is hurt.
Samuel was open plenty of
Yeah,
times
yeah, yeah,
in the short, and he
yeah,
just couldn't get. He's looking for the big play,
yeah, yeah.
and that's the difference between a smart quarterback and
A backup
a
quarterback.
mediocre
Yeah, yeah,
stopgap quarterback.
right.
You have to take that. You have to be smart and take what's given to you because
Yeah,
we didn't need that. We didn't need that chunk. All we needed 4 yards to pick the first down.
yeah, yeah.
First down. Now Terry's out and
Right.
possibly out for the Philly game.
Right. And the thing is, Terry caught that ball. That's not. I don't count that as a drop because the ball. I think he got knocked out when he hit the ground. He didn't. The ball didn't wobble and his arms just went like this. Like he was out. I think for at least a second. He had it. He caught it.
Yeah.
So Okay. Well, we'll talk about the Philly game. For when the time comes to talk about the Philly game. But they are very much still in the playoff hunt now. They have the 7th seed right now. I don't understand why that's the case, considering that the Saints beat them head to head. So I'm not really clear on
I
that.
think it's because Carolina and or Atlanta is ahead of them because they lost to Atlanta and they lost to Carolina.
Okay, so man, that's crazy. Okay, but anyway, Washington is in the 7th seed. They can still make the playoffs. Personally, I'd be fine with that this year as opposed to last year. But and if Taylor Heineke is banged, he said his elbow was bothering him the first game after a throw. he can't afford to have any limitations to throwing the ball, considering the limitations he already has.
He can't.
And maybe that's why he was struggling. Maybe that's why you can. So if that's the case, you gotta throw Kyle Allen in there.
Mhm.
You have to. You can't play Heineke with any limitations on his mobility or on his arm because without that's all he's got.
Right.
So yeah, there's no if he can't escape the pocket, then I don't. I don't think he's gonna be able to execute much at all. Kyle Allen can make some throws that Heineke can't make.
Yeah. A lot of throws
Uh,
that he can make.
yeah. Okay, but you've got a list of reasons why. What is it called?
So I got a good things about this year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's get some
And it's
positivity going.
some
We can
positivity
we
going.
can end the episode on this. You can give
Okay.
that and then all right. Go ahead.
So we go with Tay's good list about this year, and it's several things, but just basically want to talk about that. The fact is, we're not contenders yet, and I say that because we're playing meaningful football for 2 years in a row late in the season,
Hmm.
and you got guys who are still developing, learning how to win. A culture's being set with Ron Rivera getting his guys in, and um, we have no quarterback, so therefore we're not contenders as of yet.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take my thinking for a moment, you got last year where they made a stretch, they made a run,
Yeah.
they won multiple games, and if you see, it followed over this year because those guys were already used to that kind of winning.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me as they were able to do that this year. And then I had uh, two was guys are still developing, which meant which where I come from with Jamin Davis.
Hmm.
Um, he's still developing. This is a year that we could afford him developing and being trash for whatever reason because we don't have that franchise guy. We're not considered contenders. So at this point, we're just trying to get better. We're trying to get our guys better. Culture's being built, number three. And then we recognize the need for a quarterback, number four.
Mm.
Taylor Heineke, he's not the guy.
Yeah.
He's a good stopgap. He's good for a season like this. I think he's good for going into a season next year where he could possibly start if the rookie isn't ready,
Yeah.
considering we go the rookie route.
Yeah.
But what it showed me yesterday was we're this far. Like it's a gap between
Yeah.
us and Dallas because of a quarterback play.
Hmm.
Heineke, he's just not it. We recognize our need for a quarterback. If we didn't recognize it last year.
Right.
And then one of my favorite things about the draft this year is, as far as QBs, is where last year you had guys who were set
Yeah.
in their positions. We knew Trevor Lawrence, we knew Zach Wilson, we knew Justin Fields, we knew Mac Jones. This year's it's different, where
Yeah.
in that top half, okay, Houston, they probably go quarterback, or they may go the veteran route, whatever that may be, or Watson, they figure that out with Watson,
Right.
whatever that is. But you have one clear guy, which is Kenny Pickett. Thoughts on him going number one are up in the air because of the
Yeah.
defensive talent this year.
For sure.
Um, I think Washington can get their guy this year because nobody knows who they want. And I'm sure Ron will be coy about who they like.
Yeah.
And I think you can put yourself in a situation like a Kansas City, like a Buffalo, like a Houston when they got Watson and they
Yeah.
got their franchise guys in that 12, that 10 to 14 range.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think this year you can be a lot more coy about who you like because, I mean, Carson can go top 10, Carroll could fall, Corral could fall, Ritter, he's in
Yeah.
between that range. So it's no set order in which you can
Yeah.
surprise. You can move up and say, hey, I want to move up, and they won't know who you get because the QB chart is all sporadic.
It's all over the place. Right. Right. Right.
It's all over the place outside
Yeah.
of Pickett. And if you hit and you know the guy like you want,
Right.
it all depends on Scott Turner. Then I just like Heineke. He can be serviceable for next year. Then I got Chase. I think this was a humbling year for Chase. I expect to
I
see his
hope so.
behind in the building for OTAs. He's not able to participate. He
Yeah.
needs to be in the building. He needs to be getting acquainted with the
Just to
guys.
learn how to
He
rush
needs
the
to learn.
passer.
Exactly, because he doesn't have it. He needs to be with he needs to be with the Bosa's. He needs to do something this year. I mean, Joey tore his ACL last year around the same time,
Yeah.
and he has about 12 sacks this year. So I'm not discounting, it's possible he can get back on track, but I think this year was needed for him. Like I said, his production would have been needed this year, but it's all nullified if you don't have a franchise guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Straight up. I mean, I would
yeah.
rather him have 8 sacks with a franchise quarterback than have 15 and going 3-13.
Right, 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 right.
So
Yeah,
the defense it progressed
yeah. They
last year.
have
Last year they took advantage of backup
backups. Yeah,
quarterbacks. This year they took advantage of backup quarterbacks, the ones they played, and they're taking advantage and they're playing good football against good
good
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks. Yeah.
I think they're starting to piece it together. I think year 3 under Jack Del Rio, you'll see a full arrangement in that. Um, I think they'll be hungry next year with Ron
Yeah.
Rivera. I think this is a humbling year, showing that hey, you're not that good. You need to
Hmm.
get better. Gibson, same thing as I mentioned with Chase. You don't have a franchise guy, so this year you can afford that. But next year, when you have your franchise quarterback, 8 fumbles isn't cutting it. It's just
Six.
not cutting it. 6 fumbles,
Six. Yeah,
seven.
yeah. I don't know.
Seven.
Okay. Is
I
it?
think it's seven because yesterday said he had a leading 6, and then he had that 7.
Okay.
So 7 fumbles, and then we got the new name coming.
Yeah.
Rebranding. That's something you're excited about.
Yeah.
And then wide receiver, the market for wide receivers. I know we were upset last year that we couldn't
Hmm.
get the guy, but a couple of those guys are still out there. A-Rob signed a franchise tag. Godwin signed a franchise tag. Then you got Gallup, and you got Devontae Adams possibly being on the market.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers situation, something to look at. Then you got $64 million of cap space.
Yeah.
So the sky's the limit. I think they're a couple pieces away from being really, really good. You think if they had another receiver out on the outside with Terry, and you get a quarterback in there, easily this is a 10-win team with that recipe, easily. So that's my positivity, and that's
Mm.
Tay's good thing for this year is let's not get carried away. We're still a good team, and they're learning, and Ron is
Yeah.
putting his culture. And at the same token, it's possible that we're making the playoffs 2 years in a row consecutively, which I've never said in my fandom as Russell
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that would be great. I think that would be great for the culture. And like we said, I just, even if it's at 8-9, 9-8, I didn't think so last year, but I think this year could be. So I agree with everything you said. Gibson correcting his fumbles. That one I got to see it happen. I do think even though you got to pay Terry and you're paying Curtis Samuel, I still think you have to be aggressive on offense.
you got to go.
You have to be aggressive. You drafted De'Ami Brown. We'll see about that. You drafted Antonio Gandy Golden. Absolutely nothing. So I think you got to be aggressive there. And then I think the last thing for me is I just want to make this clear, and I'm afraid to tweet this because this is just. But there. I just want to be very clear. There is no excuse for Chase Young having 1.5 sacks in 9 games this year. There is no excuse for that. No double teams, triple teams scheming for him, getting the ball out quick. There is no excuse for him having only 1.5 sacks in 9 games. None whatsoever. So that has to get
Is it
fixed.
possible that Jack could get a little bit more creative instead of having them,
But he did have that. He had some of that. If you watch that Falcons game, he had Chase doing some of that and had some 5 downs, had Chase lined up over the guard or over. He moved him around some, not most of the time, but some of the time he did. But it wasn't making a big
I feel
difference.
like last year he got a little bit more creative with Chase. I think last year, or was that this year, where he had Chase and Montez on the same side rushing? Was that this year? Or
I'm not sure. I'd have to see. I'm not sure if I saw
remember
that this
last
year.
Remember last year he was doing a little bit of that, and I just think you have. I think you can't. You have to get creative.
Here's my thing. How creative are the Steelers with TJ Watt?
I mean, they're in 3-4, so that's.
I mean,
totally,
yeah.
That's a different scheme.
Yeah.
He's
But
more linebacker than end.
TJ Watt?
Yeah.
You mean like 3-4 outside linebacker? Yeah. I agree.
So that's more flexibility where he can come in a different. And that's why I cut Chase a little bit of slack. But I mean, no, you need to be prepared for all of that. There's no reason why you're getting chipped and not being able to finish through or running past the quarterback. No, that's inexcusable.
All you gotta do is watch the pad. We'll talk about that in depth at some point. But haven't lost faith in these guys, and these players. They can still get these things together. But okay, I like that list, Tay. That's about 13 things to hang your hat on.
It's a big thing. It's a big game this week because if you lose, you're pretty much done. I mean,
you probably have to go 3-0 or really have things go your way and go like 2-0, 2-1. So I agree. Well, okay.
Unless they
Uh,
get lucky like last year and teams just lose out.
start to lose like crazy. But it's
Yeah,
like I
it's,
would.
it's happening.
It has happened. I would take that. I would prefer if they just make their way.
Exactly.
A little
That'd be
bit
a
of help,
step.
but
That'd
that
be a
would be
step
and it
from
would be.
last
I
year.
would be. It would be. I'd be amped up. I'd be amped up for some playoff football this year,
Oh
just
man, I
because.
would super
So
excited.
it's definitely not over. But for me, this is the last thing I'll say. Okay, so you had a 4 game win streak. Confidence is high through the roof. Then you get put to bed by your rivals in this game, which was just terrible. Okay, you got punched in the mouth. How are you going to respond to that? That's my question. Are you going to come out next week and get punched in the mouth again? Or are you going to come back next week and are you going to punch the Eagles in the mouth for the Cowboys punching you in the mouth? That's what I need to see, Tay. And if this team comes out next week and they're just getting whooped around again, I don't injuries or not, then I just think that you don't deserve it this year. Clearly.
Yeah.
So I want to see how they respond to getting beat the way they did. Because I don't think there were rocks being thrown yesterday. So, you know what I mean? I want to see how you're going to respond to getting beat like that by your rival at home. You should take that out on somebody else on the next team you play. And I'd like to see them do that. So we'll see if that happens.
And the good thing is the hype goes down now. So we
Mm-hmm.
don't have to deal with as much hype now. They can go in and play a Philly team who's favored by 4 points, I believe, right now. And
Yeah, that's what I saw.
so
Yeah.
it's right where we belong.
And at the end of the day, you do get a rematch. You get your chance to do the same thing the Cowboys did to you. You get your chance. Maybe you'll have Sweat back by then. Maybe you'll have J.D. McKissick back by then. Maybe you have some pieces back. You have a chance to pay them back. Pay the Eagles back for what they did, and then pay them back for what they did.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about something tomorrow or Wednesday. But yeah, that one hurt though. Tay. That one really hurt. But still, I was able to. I didn't wake up Monday feeling terrible. Yesterday though, I was tore up.
Yeah, I wanted that one, but because I know it's going to be harder in Dallas to
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
So
It will be.
um,
Because Dak really didn't play well yesterday,
he didn't play
but
well at all,
played
which
better
I
than.
was happy about. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, the only thing that could have made yesterday's loss really worse is if Trayvon Diggs caught a pick. Because I wanted Micah and Trayvon to not go off. Now Micah went off, but at least Trayvon got mossed and didn't catch a pick. Or then, anyway. All right. Well, this is Todd.
This is Tay.